Well, welcome everyone to VANTEC's October monthly meeting. I'm Roger Killen. My role in VANTEC is that of the community manager. And as such, my job is to ensure that our members have an extraordinary experience and a massive ROI on their membership fee. Normally, Thelzel would be here, but Thelzel is celebrating Yom Kippur. And often Mike is here, but Mike is traveling. So we've got each other. Yay! I'm going to tell you a little bit about VANTEC, and then we're going to segue into the agenda for the next couple of hours. First of all, VANTEC, who are we? In a nutshell, we're a group of approximately 180 investors, accredited investors, and our task, our joy, our pleasure is to support BC-based high growth potential businesses. You notice I didn't say tech businesses, I said high growth potential, because often high growth potential means tech, but sometimes it doesn't. And you can see from the bottom of the screen that since 1999, we've been pretty busy. What's our mission? Our mission is to grow the BC angel community, inform those who are accredited, who qualify as accredited investors, that there is such a thing as angel investing and that it can do an awful lot of good. Help the planet, help their pocketbook. Our job is to inform those eligible accredited investors that we exist. It's also to then support them to make more and better investments in those very companies that we want to support, and we want to support them with mentorship, with capital, and with introductions. We are buddies with the Government of Canada. My podium is here. We are buddies with the Government of Canada in the form of NRC IRAP, with NACO, stands for acronym for National Angel Capital Association, and ACA, Angel Capital Association. This slide shows our trajectory in terms of investment made. We're going upwards and to the right, just like a good old hockey stick should. Notice that in 2022, the investment activity has really accelerated, and year to date, we have made 99 investments. That adds up to a little over $10 million. When I say we have made the investment, VANTEC does not make investments, but we are the matchmaker that causes investments to happen. eFund is one of our kissing cousins. eFund has made investments in 11 companies thus far this year. What If stands for, who knows what if is an acronym for? First word is Western, second word? Between us, we got it right. Western University Technology Investment Fund. Now, who knows who coined that title? Before Mike Volker, Al Fowler collaborated with Mike Volker to coin the title What If. That's the history of the term What If. Within VANTEC, we track our own members making direct investments in eligible companies, and there have been 67 of those. So you add 11 plus 21, 67, and you end up with 99. And that's where we get to the year-to-date 99 investments made in high growth potential BC companies. We have three kinds of membership. $600 for people who have not invested in either What If or eFund. $600 is the annual membership. And for that, you get 11 meetings. We miss August. You get 11 meetings. You can bring a guest to every meeting. The presentations are recorded if you can't make it and uploaded to Gust, and the company profiles there too. So there's a lot of history even if you can't make it, but With your full membership comes drinks and bites at the end of this meeting, times 11, and you'll realize pretty quickly that that's a lot of value in those drinks and bites because they come with networking with like-minded people. And this is how relationships get formed, strategic alliances get entered into, joint venture partnerships get set up. If you are also an investor in eFund or What If, your annual membership fee is reduced from 600 down to 400, and you get all the benefits as if you were paying the $600 fee. Now, there's another category of membership fee, and that's for people who simply don't live in Metro Vancouver and cannot come to our in-person meetings, and that's an online membership, and that's $300. The $300, people can come online, enjoy the live meetings 11 times a year, and the recordings and the profiles on Gust. We are supported by 8 sponsors, those that you see on the screen, and their financial sponsorship enables us to keep our expenses low and hopefully our services really high. The quality and the quantity of services really high. We have 10 community partners with whom we work in kind, trading backwards and forwards, those you see on the screen as well. Now, what's the agenda for the next couple of hours? It's pretty aggressive. We got 2 community announcements, 2 company updates, 7 previews, 3 full presentations. That takes us to 5:30. And then we segue into an hour of networking. That's where the drinks and the bites kick in. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Why can we do it? Because we have entrepreneurial mindsets. And what do entrepreneurs do? The impossible every day. Today is another day in the life of us entrepreneurs. We ask you for feedback in 3 different forms. The preview folks are generally, this is their first stop. They want to go from here on, and they would really, really appreciate your feedback and how they did in the 90 seconds that they're going to take to deliver their material to you. The full presentation feedback, it comes in the form of a document. It's a little bit more elaborate than the previews. And finally, after you've gone home tonight, you'll get a mini survey, and we ask you to fill it out. This way we can hopefully make our meetings better and better and better, more relevant to your needs. Now we begin with community announcements. First of all, Hashir Safi is going to be introducing 2 community announcements. Then Frank Lafaliere is going to also be introducing 2, and then VANTEC has 1. Here, is Hashir available? No? Frank, why don't you take it away?
Well, hello, everyone. I wanted to tell you about next month's VANTEC meeting, which is focused on investing in AgTech and FoodTech. The call for companies is out right now. We plan to pre-screen companies on October 18th and 19th. And I can tell you, we probably already have 70% of the spots reserved. So looking forward to some more amazing companies to share and present with you on November the 2nd. That event, again, will be here in person and online. And typically with these themed investor meetings, we get interest from across our community. So we're actually partnering with the Foresight Cleantech Accelerator, who has a whole cohort of agriculture companies that are having cleantech solutions. We're partnering with SFU Venture Labs, UBC, KPU. And so we should have a really good selection from across British Columbia. Then the other thing that we do in addition to the normal VANTEC meetings, because they're themed and because they are of interest to next stage investors, we actually work with the government of Canada to get some foreign investors invited as well. So it should be a great event, should be worth even the while for companies that are a little bit later stage and want to meet some investors from next stage VCs. Then the other events that I wanted to share with you, and I see that the agenda is not up, but it's on the website. There's a really great event hosted by Emily in Winnipeg. It's a digital ag conference, but it's also online. And so on the website, you can find more details about that. I warmly recommend that. Thank you.
Okay, back to normal. Apparently, I should have been standing on the X, the green X. So I'm looking for Hashir. Hashir is not here. All right, then next slide, please, Jackson. VANTEC has an announcement, and that announcement is that we are hiring. We have a role for a startup visa program administrator assistant. It is a paid role, approximately 40 hours per month. So if you know someone who is a super reliable person, we would really like the opportunity to have a chit chat with him or her. 40 hours a month, maximum 40 hours a month, and it is paid. Next slide, Jackson. We have in our community some upcoming events and some community events. There are 5 of them in the coming month, investor events, and there are 2 community events. You'll get more information in exhausting detail if you go to vantec.ca/events. That's vantec.ca/EVENTS for full information. Next slide, please, Jackson. Some house rules before we get cracking with the presentations. Presenters, please mute yourself when you are not presenting. Funny things happen in the background, so let's avoid them by you muting yourself. Please turn your cell phones off and any notifications. Not a good idea to receive those or try and send them while you are presenting. A big purpose, a big part of the value you're going to get from VANTEC is the networking, because we bring together angel investors with companies seeking capital. And that only works if you presenters step out of your comfort zone and go talk to people, make yourself known to them, impress them, try and make a date to meet up with them. VANTEC, if you want, in very simple terms, is a dating service between investors and companies seeking investment. That only works when you actually aggressively reach out and try and make the next meeting. The rest of us, it goes without saying that there's no soliciting. This is a sales-free zone unless you're a presenter. Presenters tell those that you're presenting what company you're with, whether you're an investor or whether you're just a part of the entrepreneurial community here in British Columbia. Next slide, please, Jackson. In-person presenters in the room. I'm standing on a green X. You need to stand here too, because this is where the camera is set up to track you from. And so until you stand here, if you don't stand here, you will not be in the recording. So please stand here. Use the mic. Think of it as an ice cream. You're about to lick it. You're only a quarter of an inch away from it. That produces the best audio quality for those people in the room. And finally, I will be handing you a remote to advance your slides. It's a very simple remote. There's an arrow to the left, an arrow to the right. You want the arrow to the right. Some tips for the entrepreneurs in the room. Network, network, network. That's what this event is all about. Your purpose is to make a date, the next date, to see the investor. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Don't be shy. This is not a venue for what's the expression? Flowers. Shrinking violence. This is not a place for shrinking violence. And keep your GUST profile up to date. Here's some contact information for further follow-up. Many of us are in the room. We're pretty much all will be here for the networking. So feel free to tap into us and let us know what your needs are, how this could be better, how this could become more relevant for you. Now it's time for updates. There are 2 companies that are going to bring us up to date. Each company has 90 seconds to do so. Vladimir is speaking on behalf of Ascent Systems Technologies, and Michel Dulao on behalf of IUVOX Healthcare, which is in the healthcare services space. Who would like to go first? I'm looking for Vladimir. Vladimir. So Vladimir, see the green? Yep. The green? All right.
All right, hope I do. You hear me well? All right. Ascent, ASCENT, Rising Sun. That's what the name of the company. My name is Vladimir Grebenik. Some of you, many maybe of you online as well, have seen me and heard me before, so I won't spend too much time on introducing myself. Other than maybe one thing, I was born in Ukraine, which in today's world has some bearing on what I do. So what it is an autonomous mobile energy system we developed. In a nutshell, it is a cross between a space-grade robotics, clean energy, and machine learning. So that has a number of applications in many areas, but again, as I alluded already, military and disaster relief, some of the most important, although number of others. So here about this, we first were approached by the Royal Canadian Navy, who is thinking about using our technology in their naval bases. We entered the contest by the Department of National Defense to develop a prototype for the Canadian Army, for the Canadian Army camps. And we are now in final stage of the development of this, which will be delivered to the DND this April 2023. The next step is the program, which is called, I'm not stopping on those details, we could talk later, is the program called Camp Sustain, for which the government already designated $500 million, $500 million. So if you think that your investment is going down, the stocks, and I heard the rumbling in a room that you don't can make money, that's the only field which could make you money. We are in the middle of this camp by taking energy and providing energy. Oops, no one maybe back. Yeah, the other thing, the latest update is actually we also have been awarded a contract to develop a prototype for the DND to provide a prototype of the system to monitor and survey the Arctic assets of the Department of National Defense. Thank you.
Michelle?
Thank you so much. Everybody can hear me? Soundproof? All good? Perfect. So yeah, I can start anytime, yeah? Perfect, right, okay. So hello everyone, my name is Michelle Delao, and I'm co-founder and CEO of IUVOX, the future of air disinfection. Actually, before we start, I would like to ask a question. Please raise your hand if you have never gone to the dentist. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. That means that every single one of you is a potential end user of our product. This guy here, this is an example of a potential amount of aerosols generated during a routine dental procedure. Just think about it. This guy could have seasonal flu, common cold, COVID. Yeah, you name it. Now, imagine you are the next patient to sit in that same chair right after that guy. I'm just putting that out there. So how are we solving this transmission problem? We are combining artificial intelligence and far UVC technology to keep dental practices safe from disease. Our smart system safely, rapidly, and invisibly disinfects aerosolized particles without disrupting any operations. Since our last presentation in June 2022, sorry, we have achieved 3 great milestones. The first one is that we have completed our ceiling mounted device and our dental attachment. Second, we have successfully run an in-house efficacy study to prove that our device actually works. And it does. I mean, you can see the differences here. And then finally, I'm proud to announce that we have finally filed our provisional US patent, actually last week. So pretty recent milestone. Oh, yeah, so today we are asking for $500,000 to expedite research and development to get to our MVP. So IUVOX, breathe clean. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and feel free to reach out to me.
Okay, time now for the previews. Each preview presenter has got 90 seconds. If you could please line yourselves up here. Patrick, Rob, Hamid, Rustam. Starting with Patrick. Patrick, you're here. Do we have Patrick here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Patrick's online. All right, Patrick, take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Patrick Lemieux, CEO at INHUB Farms. We grow organic mushrooms in the city using robotics and autonomous systems. The demand for mushrooms is growing 15% a year, supply is down, and major chains are having supply shortages. Lower quality Chinese imports with poor traceability are feeding the demand, but that creates a liability for food brands, distributors, and retailers. Costco experiences these problems. They want a trusted supply that can meet their price point and volume. In March, we secured a LOI to supply Costco stores across Western Canada, valued at over 1.5 million. Our mission is to supply major chains with domestic mushrooms that are safe at the going market price. We can do this because our biotech processes, automation, and robotics use 99% less energy and 99% less plastic. Our competition has low automation and can't meet the market price. We previously raised 1.5 million from a private equity firm and angel investors. We completed a full-scale 8,000 square foot pilot plant in the Okanagan, received 300K in SHRED, and are supported by Foresight Canada. We are raising capital to expand our production in Vancouver to fulfill our LOI with Costco. Let's have a conversation.
Thank you, Patrick. I forgot to mention that these 7 previews is also a contest because the 7 preview presenters are competing for 3 slots in the next VANTEC meeting full presentation. So pay attention, please, to them. Write their names down. I'll repeat the names at the end, and then we will ask you to vote for the top 3. Next up is Green Spirit Technologies, Rob Adamowski. Thank you.
So it's right?
And there's a slight delay.
Okay. Bike theft. It's a frequent, costly problem. Over 2 million bikes per year are stolen in North America alone. Average loss value is $840 US. What we're offering is convenient and peace of mind for bike parking for bike owners. So we have a 3-point locking system that we've developed that will charge e-bikes and e-scooters. You can reserve it ahead of time or on the spot via our app. This is for bike owners. It's not bike share. We have 3 business models. We sell to the property owner, or we can lease to the property owner, like a city or campus, and we can also charge the user. So there are over 2 billion bikes in the world, and that number is only growing. E-bike sales are on fire, and we want to capture this trend. So from the beginning, we wanted to design a solution that was highly visible, that would lock the critical parts of the bike, but could fit in a conventional bike rack spot. So we incorporated in 2019. We're now piloting with the University of British Columbia. We've raised over 500K in capital, and we're looking to execute some LOIs. We have $30,000 of earned revenue, and we want to execute pilots. Like I said, it's our team. We're asking for 750K, and we are an EBC. Thanks.
Thank you. That was 91 seconds. Hey, way to go, Rob. Okay, next up is D2Type Health. Hamid. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hamid. I'm just diabetologist and from D2Type. You may know 1 in 3 adult people suffering from diabetes or pre-diabetes. It means that in Canada, 11.7 million people, and in the US is 120 million people are involved. You may be surprised that the annual diabetes death rate is higher than the total COVID-19 deaths from the start. Oh, sorry. Okay. Over $30 billion every year is spent to diabetes care from the health care of Canada and employers. And this number is really higher, it's about more than 10 times in the US. And it is also have a burden for the employers, as you can see. We are a team of medical scientists and healthcare entrepreneurs that having a long-standing history of integrative lifestyle medicine for diabetes for more than 75,000 patients. But it is nothing regarding to the issue that we are involved, because as the data show, it is nothing about the data that we have. And we have found that D2Type to have diabetes prevention and reversal program in the community setting. We are going to combine life coaches with digital technology, including AI, in a business model B2B and B2G in Canada. The participants have just access to smart tracking for lifestyle indexes, interactive lessons, and having online life coach and peer group to receive the personalized lifestyle modification program. We are just, we believe that we are the first tech company in Canada that having this service for enterprise and also aim to implement this in MSP service in the future. We are now in seed round, and we are raising money for $2 million to achieve prepare the fitted product. And we are happy to share with you anything that you want just to know more about this. Thank you very much for your attention.
You can buy me a drink later. Thank you very much. Next up, I believe online is Tuktu Care, and the presenter is Rustam Sengupta.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rustam, founder of Tuktu. Aging is inevitable, but super hard, especially when family is not close by. And while healthcare has done really well, simple things like shopping, technology help, rides to the doctor, or cooking or companionship, things that are done by the family for our older folks are super hard to access at their age now. I spoke to a lot of people, and the current care industry, which is full-time, very monolithic, is too transactional, rigid, and expensive for them. It doesn't have the kind of personalization that these folks are looking for. And the market is huge. It's a huge problem with a lot of people aging, but also people living longer and wanting to live at home. And for the family, we are missing a tool to really manage the care ecosystem of our loved ones. So this is where Tuktu comes in, a very simple, safe, community-based platform, marketplace that uses technology to match older adults for their home care with the community around them. For example, someone like Bill, who needs some care but is super independent, doesn't know where to ask, now can connect with Rachel, who has some time and loves to do a side gig. We ensure that it's safe for both parties and have a very smart matchmaking algorithm based on language, cost, distance, etc., to make it a great engagement. So we're really trying to get new technology into an old but growing industry. And since January, when we launched our product this year, we've grown exponentially. We have provided over 1,500 hours of care already in Vancouver with really no marketing, just word of mouth and referrals, and have started expanding to Okanagan as well as the island. So we're looking for $1.25 million to take us across Canada and really grow the team bigger with your help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rustam. I'm now looking for Annika Ng, Gonzalo, and Richard Martin. Richard, I believe, is online. Annika? Great, welcome. So here's Annika, Blossom Social Inc.
Awesome. Perfect. As I'm sure many of you can presume, my name is not Anika, but she's my COO. My name's Max. I'm the founder and CEO of Blossom. About a year and a half ago, I left my job at McKinsey to launch Blossom, which is Canada's first social brokerage. So the next generation of investors, as I'm sure many of you have seen, are increasingly social, with 2/3 of investors aged 18 to 29 talking about their investments with their friends. My generation craves community and learns everything from social media. The problem is current social platforms aren't built for investors to connect. They're full of misinformation, full of scams, a lot of people just pumping stocks. And so there needs to be a platform that allows investors to share knowledge and to find community. And that's why we're building Blossom, Canada's first social brokerage. We're combining a mobile-first stock trading experience with a social community for investors. On Blossom, users can share their portfolios and trades with their friends and see the portfolios and trades of top investors and find new investment ideas in the community, all backed up by verified holdings. While we work to become a full-service brokerage in Canada and capturing part of the $25 billion market here, in the short term, we connect all of the users' brokerage account, linking to every major brokerage in Canada. Over the last 5 months, we've grown rapidly. Love to see a chart like this. We've grown from 250 members to over 2,000 with a 55% monthly growth rate, and we have over 10 million in linked assets from the brokerage accounts. Last month, we finalized a round raising 750,000 at a 6 mil post-money safe with investments from LOI Ventures, which is Ryan Holmes's fund, as well as some key strategics, including some pretty prominent investing influencers. So the ask for today is essentially, we're happy to oversubscribe the round a little for some key strategics. So definitely feel free to reach out to me if you're interested, or shoot me a note at maxwell@blossomsocial.ca. Cheers.
You have recorded.
Thank you, Max.
What is
And Max, during the networking, I'm quite sure people are going to call you Annika. Sorry about that. Next up is Gonzalo Tudela. Is that right? Gonzalo Tudela, Examined AI. Let's welcome him.
That was the only battle and the only double pass.
All right. Feels good to be in person again, eh? Feels great. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gonzalo Tudela, and I am the co-founder and CEO at Examined AI. We help university instructors deliver online exams with integrity. The problem with online education is that students are using websites like Course Hero, Chegg, and Quizlet to cheat on their exams. Online proctoring is invasive and ineffective, and between 70 and 80% of professors just refuse to use it. And the result is there's a $15 billion cheating industry that's just growing out of control. Instead of trying to stop the act of cheating, Examine focuses on eliminating the value that cheating provides. We leverage artificial intelligence to enable instructors to deliver a unique exam to every student. And this approach makes compromised content worthless. And it stops students from posting their content online. The biggest difference between online proctoring and Examined is that we don't require any installation and we are non-invasive. Now I'm grateful that I get to lead a team of 4 founders who have started and sold 3 technology companies already. And armed with a founder who's been teaching at the world's #1 online MBA program, I feel like we're positioned to win. And so does the market. In just over 12 months, we've delivered over 12,000 exams to more than 4,000 students. Our paying engine is just turned on. In the last week, we've grown over 50%. So I'm here to raise a $1 million pre-seed round to get to 1 million in ARR within 18 months and to increase our capacity to onboard instructors sooner. Thank you.
Now it's time for Rich Marden, Recast. Rich, I believe, is online. Okay. No show? Okay. All right. It's there were 6 of the previews and they are competing for 3 slots. So please, where is it? Scan the QR code to vote. Okay, now it's time for the full. Yes, now it's time for the full presentations. Jack Elliott, you're online and you're going to introduce Rafayette Siam.
That's right. Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Jack Elliott. I'm ex-CEO of Pure Technologies, a Calgary-based water technology company that was sold to Xylem Inc. in 2018. I've been involved with Rafayette and Novion for about a year now, helping them develop their business plan and their go-to-market strategy. I think they have an opportunity here to become part of a leader in the evolution of green infrastructure as it is used by municipalities to help mitigate the effect of climate events, extreme climate events. And I'm very pleased to introduce Rafayette and his team. I think they're an energetic, young, energetic group that can do great things. Thank you.
Should we start? Thanks, Jack, and thanks, Roger. Hi, everybody. I'm Rafayette, CEO and co-founder of Novion. At Novion, we help cities become more climate resilient by helping them monitor and manage the green infrastructure. So essentially, North America is spending around $56 billion over the next few years to help become cities more climate resilient by helping them build more green infrastructure. So let's dig a bit deeper into why is that. So because of climate change and increased rainfall, there's been a lot more urban flooding and combined sewer overflows. So now cities are under a lot of pressure to increase stormwater capacities within cities because they're losing billions every year, and it's only getting worse. So there's basically two main ways to deal with this. First is you can dig up all the existing pipes and put in bigger ones, or you can invest in these things called green infrastructure. So that would be things like rain gardens and bioswales. And these assets, green infrastructure or GI, like any other assets, needs to be managed properly once they're built. So cities like the City of Vancouver has around 300 of these. They're expecting to build around on the scale of thousands. So these thousands of assets need to be managed properly, but right now there is no standardized method to manage these assets. They're a new asset class. And cities are currently spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in terms of consulting hours and city official hours to come up with solutions to manage them. And they resort to using a patchwork of environmental sensors or original equipment manufacturing solutions. And at the end of the day, they end up with inaccurate reporting anyways, because they don't have the expertise to do so in-house. So it's a pretty complex workflow that they have. And what we have done is we have simplified the installation process or the technology setup process and automated the insight generation process. So what enables us to do so is our proprietary IoT data logger that goes on site and collects sensor data. And we have, and that data feeds onto our climate intelligence platform that the cities can use to generate reports. Reports they can use for capital expenses, operational expenses, and maintenance reasons. So just to put things into perspective, this is what an example implementation would look like. So, and this is from the City of Vancouver that we have already worked with them. So, so we'd sell them these data loggers over here on the left, and they would go on site and install them. Installation is simply like hooking them on using a carabiner and hooking them on a hook. And they would collect data over time, maybe for a couple of months, and the data will be transmitted online from where they can access our reports. And maybe over 2 months or 3 months, they can move these loggers around the many different sites they have. So it's a self-sustaining solution. So the market is quite new and emerging. The initial pitch to the market that we plan to go for is the North American municipalities primarily, and slowly expand onto the global market. And then eventually we would be getting into the integrated stormwater management. So that will include green infrastructure monitoring as well as combined sewer overflow monitoring solutions. So our revenue model is quite straightforward. It's an IoT-based SaaS, IoT-enabled SaaS solution. So that would also include some professional services as well, as municipalities often require some consultancy work to kind of enable them to employ these solutions. Our current average order value is only $20,000 because we're only providing monitoring solutions, but we expect that to go significantly up higher once we provide a decked out full solution to them, up to $100,000 every year ARR. The existing landscape, as you can see, we're positioned very right. There's no one right now providing GI specific solutions in the market right now. They do dabble a little bit around the common sewer overflow solutions, or they would just resort, the cities would resort to using consulting solutions as they have usually do. So a bit about our team. I have expertise in building condition assessment as well as capital planning. I've worked with organizations such as DND, Ministries of Health, Education, and extensively with municipalities in the past. And our CTO has years developing and deploying IoT-based solutions for various companies as well. So we are quite well positioned for this. In fact, with that, we have secured a number of regional, federal, and regional partnerships with which we have already secured around we have secured 4 pilots, and one of them is the City of Vancouver. So a correction here, not just pilots, the City of Vancouver and City of New West are actually full year-long contracts. And with that, so just to summarize where we're at, we haven't raised any money so far, and we already have around $60,000 in revenue. Half of it is ARR. And what we are expecting is near the Q1 of next year, we hope to start our seed raise of around $1.5 million, with which we plan to grow and scale quite aggressively. We already have connections set up within the US as well as within the Canadian networks, water clusters. So with that, we'll be ready here for networking. Thanks. Sorry, that threw me off though. I know.
So hang on, we got Q&A. So now it's time for a few minutes of Q&A. Shout out your question. I'll repeat it so everyone can hear it. And Rafayette will then give you an incredibly amazing, blow your mind answer. Questions? Let me repeat. Why don't you repeat the question?
All right, sorry. I thought my voice is quite loud. Yeah, so the question was if we can integrate with existing solutions that the cities have. That's a great question because yes, the short answer is yes, we do. And we have to because they usually want to use one platform for many different types of asset classes. So it would be unrealistic for us to say, hey, use our platform only. Which could be possible for smaller cities or municipalities, but for larger cities like City of Vancouver and City of Toronto, we have to integrate and we will.
More questions?
What's your pre-money value?
Yeah, sorry, I think I accidentally turned it off. So your question was how does Lobelia industrial IoT solution fit into our competitive landscape? So they would be under the bottom right of general OEMs because our bread and butter is not really our hardware. It's just a means to an end. Our bread and butter is the reports that we generate that help them with CapEx and OpEx and maintenance schedules. Yeah.
What's your pre-money valuation?
We do not have a pre-money valuation, right? Sorry. The question was what the pre-money valuation is. We do not have a pre-money valuation right now. It's under negotiation. Yeah. No, you did not. We did not share an exit. Apologies. Thank you. The question was, what's the exit strategy? So no, you didn't miss the exit strategy. We haven't outlined it yet. We believe it's a bit too early to set on a final exit strategy, but with the 1.5 million, what we expect is we will be reaching an ARR of $1 million in the next 2 years. Yeah. Right. So the question was, what's the feedback from our clients or municipalities so far? So the interesting thing is that if you go to City of Vancouver, City of Toronto's website, hopefully no one from there is here. They'll make it seem like they know what they're doing, but they're in the very early stages. But they're seen or deemed as the leaders. So the truth is that almost all the municipalities do not know how to really access these funds, as well as how to deploy these funds. So we are essentially trying to hold their hand and show them how they can be using solutions like ours. And they're quite receptive. In fact, the solutions that we have developed, all the features are customer requests. So we haven't really added any features based on what we think. 100% of the features we have are driven by the city officials, from the City of Vancouver. So they're very receptive. The only challenge is that it is too early. So they're a little bit worried on how to go about it. So the way we de-risk it for our clients is that we offer a small scale pilot to begin with. And once they kind of get a taste of how it's like to have a scalable solution, they usually at least 3 out of 3 times they went for a renewal. Yeah. That's a great question. So right now we try to, so the question was how long is our sales cycle? And how long do we try to not go above the RFP, right? At what point do we start triggering RFP requirements? So right now we try to stay below the RFP requirement to be sole sourced. Is the first answer. Usually, and we have a pretty good understanding of what the number is for Canadian municipalities right now. Yeah, which is, well, it depends from city to city. Yeah, also I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, and I think the second question or the first question you had was, could you repeat the question? Yeah, right. So that's an unflattering 5 to 6 months, our initial sales cycle. However, I think, or we really believe there's 2 things that's going to change over the next coming years. The first one is that once GI becomes more mainstream, people will be more open to, and the conversation will get easier, and adoption will also get easier. And the second silver lining is that because our clients are municipal clients, and we're integrating with whatever solution they already have. We expect to never lose them. We expect them to be a forever client.
Any further questions? Hearing none. Thank you, Raphael.
Thanks, Roger. Thanks, everybody.
Next up is SapienML. The sponsor is Roger Coopers, and the speakers are William Parker and Scott Holmes. William and Scott, are you here?
Scott Holmes is here, yes. Yeah, William will not be joining today, but Roger's on to introduce.
Hey there, I'm Roger Kuipers, partner with Fasken, long-term supporter of VANTEC. I'm pleased to present Sapien Machine Learning to you today. Sapien provides services in the growing field of data set extraction and patient data de-identification, and that's all I'm going to say because Scott's going to do a much better job of introducing you to their business. I should say that in my 25 years of doing this, Sapien's one of the most promising companies I've worked with. IUVOX as well, I should say, our earlier presenter. So over to Scott Holmes, the CEO.
Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it, and thanks everyone for having me here. I am the CEO of the company. I am here to talk about Sapien Secure, which is empowering researchers securely, healthcare workers efficiently, and empowering your data confidently. So, as Roger mentioned, we are a SaaS, enterprise SaaS model, driving data-driven solutions. We are here to de-identify personal healthcare information. This is information that is between you and your doctor, your clinician, and what we were able to do is securely identify that or de-identify that, index it, and make it searchable for secondary use. So it secures that privacy so that it can be used for everything from internal, clerical, clinical, all the way to advanced research. So we're founded in 2019. We already have 600,000 in annual recurring revenue. It's actually close to $1 million revenue right now. Because of that, we were actually asking for 2 million. We are now only asking for 1 million, and we already have that soft circled. So if there's interest after this presentation, please reach out to me. We are actually closing this round in the next few weeks. And I'm going to give you a little information about what it is, what exactly we're doing, and why it's so important. So 1% of healthcare data, as I just mentioned, is de-identified. That's for secondary use. So 1% is an unbelievably untapped market in the health institutions. We're already inside of Vancouver General Hospital, Providence Health. We're in Alberta, and we actually have our first client in the United States as we're going to launch and really use these proceeds for what's called Synthesis Health here in the US in Texas. So a little bit more about how this works is we deliver on-prem, so security first. So on-premise means we have this software that's downloaded onto their servers behind their firewall, right? So perfect security. We extract, index, aggregate, and de-identify. This is unlocking value 200 to 300 times, percent. So 2 to 3 times. Every dollar they invest, we return $2 to $3. And this is through either the sale of the data or the ability to use this data for billing optimization, waitlist optimization. It really goes on and on. And this is a very simple diagram, simplistic of we have multiple databases, so medical databases, DICOM, EMRs, that could be unstructured or structured data that we bring in one place, we index it, we make it searchable, and we deliver value in every single one of these areas. It's a big opportunity. I'm not going to go through all these, but just know that this is a resource-stressed market. Our natural language processing and AI really help to manage, automate in this environment. And we started in radiology. The 3 founders, but 2 of them are doctors, actually professors, and a sitting radiologist inside of Vancouver Health and in British Columbia. So we take on the most complex of de-identification, which is imaging. I won't go too deep into that, but if we can do it in imaging, and we've done it everywhere else, from tabular data to index data, we live in a world in the healthcare system that is just absolutely at its earliest stage, PDFs, whiteouts. So it's the digitization of healthcare. And this is the opportunity. It's an unbelievable market, not just in the hospitals and clinics that we just spoke of, but also in the healthcare system, really in general, including a biotech research, especially advanced research. We are in what's called a digital supercluster right now, which I can speak to because it's now public. It is with a pharma company, Bayer, AstraZeneca, and Altus Labs. And this is a lung cancer project. So it's an example of some of the work that we're doing and that we're capable of doing. We have a quick glance of some of the competitors. The main differentiation here is we actually have doctors at the helm, which is very important, understanding the marketplace and having the network to really penetrate these health authorities. We are also an end-to-end solution. Many of these, including John Snow, are off the shelf or in the cloud, which is already an inherent risk when taking personal healthcare information to the cloud. So we de-identify it on premise, and then we can send it to the cloud whenever the client is ready. As mentioned, we're a volume tiers SaaS model, and we are these are some of the clients right now: medical, pharma, equipment, hospitals. This is the product. I'm at my time, so I'm just going to go real quickly through, and I can give a demonstration if anybody is interested. And here are the people who would love to speak with you, including myself, Scott Holmes, Dr. Parker, Dr. Savas Nicolau, and Brian Lee, our CTO. Thank you so much for your time.
Now it's time for questions. Jackson, is the best way for the audience to ask a question? I do the mic runner and then pass the mic to the audience member. Is that okay? I'll be your mic runner. Questions? Okay, if I understand the question, I'll be delighted to repeat it. Are there any questions?
I can answer some that I'm seeing online here.
Okay.
What is your competitive advantage and competitive landscape? So the real advantage is threefold. One is we are an end-to-end solution. We're not an off-the-shelf. It's not one of those where you have to have the staff and the resources inside the hospital to develop it, learn how to put it all together, and then actually deliver on it. We, in fact, in one situation and scenario, we not only do install the software, but we manage the software for the health authority. And another competitive advantage is that we actually have doctors, radiologists, a professor of radiologists at the helm. So with AI, natural language processing, it's like data in is really critical to know the best data to come out of this. So we have the most sophisticated NLP models in the marketplace. And it's showing because the hospitals are using it. We're returning 200 to 300% in every scenario. And now we're going to start to replicate this in the US.
Carry on, Scott, asking.
Yes, it looks like who are you up against and any of them big enough to buy you? Oh, that's a great question. You know, I think John Snow is really the only one that is really, I think, well enough capitalized to do so. And actually, we would be probably a good target acquisition for them, given that they have a lot of NLP models, but it's one of those, again, those off the shelf. So you really have to have the staff and the personnel to know what to do and how to put all that together. And our promise is that we are really easing the burden of your staff, right? Because it's already staff really stress resourced. So I think John Snow is the answer, probably the only one that would be capitalized well enough for this.
Okay, carry on with the online question, Scott.
Okay, pre-money valuation, we are raising $1 million. We already have that soft circled. So again, this is an opportunity. We haven't taken on any debt, or cash flow positive. We could grow organically as we are now, but we really want to accelerate this. So the cap is at 8 million US. So we are taking Canadian investors and US investors. We already, I think we have just at or slightly over 1 million soft circled, and we're ready to start the closing on the round in about 2 weeks. Yes, protecting patient privacy. Number one, that is exactly what we do. So the health authority is who actually owns the data, right? So this is one of the reasons that we're on premise. We do not want to own the data. There's a big liability behind that. So what we do is we extract, we index it, we visualize it in a way in our demonstration. Again, this may have to happen another time, but we are actually able to make all of their medical data researchable. Researchable from researchers, but searchable from clinicians, clerks, etc. So by everything happening on premise, and then once that data is de-identified, it is perfectly secure, locked down 100%. We've had zero issues.
Any further online questions, Scott?
I think I may have gotten.
I gather the problem with us dropping the audio is the SFU network is unstable right now. Carry on, Scott. Any more online questions?
Yeah, I think I may have addressed that one. I think the big one was around valuation, and it is a convertible note. I guess I'll give you just a little bit more information on that. It's a 6% interest. It will convert at Series A. We were looking to raise likely 3 to 5 million at Series A. So the raise right now of $1 million is basically equal to our revenue. It's just simply to accelerate our penetration into the United States. So we're heavily secured in Canada, now moving into the US, and that's the purpose of the proceeds. Additional web product development and a sales development in US.
That's about
okay. Thank you. That was actually from Wendy and saying, thank you. Let me know how we did. I appreciate it. And again, really thank you for your time. We're very excited to be here.
So Wendy, could you put that note you had up back on the screen? It contains the URL for the Cognito form.
Thank you. And again, my name is Scott, Scott at SapienML.com. And please reach out with any further questions.
Thank you, Scott. All right, our next full presentation is Troop Impact. This is online. The sponsor is Andrew Lowe. The speaker is Kelly Emery. Take it away, Andrew.
Hi, nice meeting everyone. This is my first time here, so I just quick introduction to myself. I'm Andrew Lowe. My day job, I'm the president of a company called Finance It, and we're a buy now, pay later business in home improvement, and we provide financing for likes like Home Depot, and more locally for you Vancouver folks, Clean BC Better Homes is also a customer of ours. Anyway, I want to introduce you to Kelly Emery. I've known her for quite some time. I was the CEO of a company called Kinetics, and she was the founder of a company called Rate Supermarket, and we combined our businesses and created a big marketplace in financial services, specifically insurance and mortgages, where you can shop and compare. And I was a partner with Kelly in a pretty substantial exit to the Ontario Teachers Pension Fund. And so that's how we met, built a substantial business together with a great exit. And so I'm also an investor in her next career challenge, which is Troop. And Troop is a very timely platform where it connects employers and employees with charitable needs locally in the community. She started out in Toronto, and so that's very, very relevant. And also very relevant to businesses involved with who require, corporate social responsibility initiatives. So I think it's a great thing that she's building. And she's after the small, medium-sized business. And Kelly's very, very determined and steadfast and passionate about this space. And so that really makes the investment all the more appealing. So with that, I'll take it away, Kelly.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate that introduction. Hello, everybody. My name is Kelly. I'm the founder and CEO of Troop, and I'm also a believer in the fact that we all have a responsibility to make this world a better place. Now, I believe that, but as a busy entrepreneur, I can say that in the past, it's been a real struggle to act on that. So following the exit of that business that Andrew just told you about, I've now started a new business in the tech for good space, a company that is designed to make it super easy for other business leaders to create the impact that they want to have. And They need it because for small to mid-sized business owners, it is too hard to do good. These SMBs struggle with challenges like, what charity or cause do we pick? You know, who's going to run it and own it? How do we get the employees involved? And how do we make it meaningful? And the thing is these businesses need to figure this out now, because for employees and for consumers, it's no longer enough for businesses to just make money. Nearly 80% of North Americans want to work for a company with a strong corporate social responsibility program. And if you lose an employee because you're not meeting their needs in that area, it costs money. And with turnover costs skyrocketing in this post-pandemic era, business leaders are looking for new ways to engage and motivate their employees. And that's where Troop comes in. Troop is a full service program to help businesses engage their employees in local, tangible social impact initiatives. It's a technology solution. It's social impact software. Here's how it works. When a business signs up for Troop, every single month, we send out a curated list of a few local needs to all of their employees. Now, we pull these needs from our marketplace with partnerships with charities, nonprofits, community organizations. All of the employees get the opportunity to read about these needs, the organizations that submitted them, and then they cast a vote for the need that they want their business to fulfill most that month, so the cause that resonates most with them. Middle of the month, the vote closes, Troop processes fulfillment for the top voted need, and at the end of the month, we're sending out an impact story with pictures, video messages, a note of thanks, so that everybody can really see and feel how their business has shown up for the local community. For this service, we charge a fee of $2 per employee per month, but with the additional features coming down the pipeline in our product roadmap, I believe we can get up to $4 per employee per month. We're off to a good start. We've got over 500 employees onboarded onto the platform, 7 paying business partners, and we've got over 150 partnerships with charities and nonprofits in Ontario, Alberta, and BC. Now, the CSR software market, there's a lot of players that are offering a solution to the enterprise level business and a few that have popped up for SMBs. But the biggest thing that sets Troop apart from these providers is the fact that we are a full service solution. So we're curating the needs for our partners. We're also local. So there's a greater personal connection between the employee and the program. Now, I know what you're thinking. Local, full service, that sounds expensive, but not with the right technology. A technology solution that will allow the charity partners to upload their needs into the platform, an AI engine that will curate the needs for our business partners, the software that will onboard our business partners, run the program with the notifications, and then APIs integrating into retail partners like Amazon and Walmart and wholesalers in order to process fulfillment. We have the core of this engine built today, and the rest will be built in 2023. The global CSR software market is big and growing, set to double to 1.3 billion by 2027. Troop is targeting small to mid-sized businesses, companies with 50 to 1,000 employees across Canada and the US. There are 350,000 of those. I put the market size at $9 million today, 900 million, sorry. And we have a growth strategy to go from 7 companies on the platform today to 350 in 2024. We'll do this by leveraging direct sales, a partner program with benefit companies and HR leaders, and then also digital acquisition solutions. This will put us on a growth trajectory where we we are profitable in 2024 with our revenues hitting 1.3 million. We will also have an LTV to CAC of 5. I myself, as Andrew said, have experience starting and building businesses. I'm supported by Mohammed, my lead developer, a few freelancers, and a fabulous group of advisors. I'm raising $1 million in pre-seed funding in order to build the engine that's going to connect our SMBs to local needs in their community, and I'm a quarter of the way there. So I've got $50,000 that's closed, 200K soft committed on this, and I hope you'll agree that this is an exciting opportunity to create a big impact in our local communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Time for questions. Kelly, if you have any online questions, just fire away and answer them. What's the cap on the note?
What's the cap on the note? So the cap is pre-money 5 million.
Peter, could you start the clock again? Further questions? Do you have any online questions, Kelly?
Nothing else coming up online.
Going once?
Thank you.
Michelle. There's a company called Meaningful Work. Are they competitors or something else?
Meaningful Work is a potential partner. So right now, I know that they are doing a lot of volunteer curation for businesses, and I've spoken to the team there and hoping to work with them as we build out our product and we start to incorporate volunteer curation for our business partners.
Thank you, Kelly. What did the investors get from your last exit, Kelly, please?
They got a significant return. Yeah.
A significant return, unspecified, but significant.
And I've got a question here in terms of, is there any discount on the note? So it is a 20% discount on the note.
Please, we have a live question. Can Kelly work with somebody like change.org?
Yeah, I think that there's an opportunity for us to partner with organizations that are doing that. Right now, in terms of our product roadmap, we have the ability for businesses to be able to put forward a budget that will go towards fulfilling local needs in their community, and employees are voting in order to direct where that money is allocated. We also have the ability for employees to also be able to pledge personal funds that can go towards fulfilling some of these needs. So as we grow, we're looking at partnering with different providers to be able to onboard more needs from various areas.
Going once, going twice. Kelly, you've impressed us, obviously. We have no questions either live or online. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you who are VANTEC members, you can get all sorts of additional information if you go to the GUST platform. Thank you all hugely. Now it's time to wrap things up and get into the informal networking. Good night.